Hi, this is Al Manning, bringing you Adventures in Awareness from ESP Laboratory in Los Angeles. Our purpose at ESP Lab is to help you develop and harness your own psychic or extrasensory powers and apply them practically to make a better life for yourself and your family. When the struggle seems too much for you, you wonder why you care. Maybe smart folk would just sleep behind the door. What's the use of working harder? I'm not getting anywhere. Inspiration doesn't move me anymore. Friend, before you quit the struggle, turn once more toward the light. Ask for help, then let it guide you through the fray. In the fire and heat of battle, your own soul is polished bright. Try once more. You may just win it all today. It's amazing how many people give up a long struggle, minutes or hours before they would otherwise win. A great gold mine was once abandoned by its defeated owner. He sold it for a song and gave up when his tunnel was less than 100 feet from one of the richest strikes in our country's history. History remembers only the men who get up one more time than they're knocked down. Its proudest of men, like the one who got up off the bottom after going bankrupt in the retail clothing business and went on to become President of the United States, Harry Truman. Or Woodrow Wilson, who didn't let a lame leg get in the way of his political career. All men derive inspiration from the story of a frail body crippled with polio that was still parlayed into only 4 terms of the presidency of the United States. And of course, as we know, the only man ever to hold, or whoever will hold, 4 terms is the President of the United States. We may not agree with all his politics, but we must respect the courage and dedication of Franklin Roosevelt and admire his example of success in spite of overwhelming odds. If we look deeply into the life of any successful person, we will find some measure of tragedy and handicap. In fact, many successes are the direct result of a gigantic struggle to overcome a seemingly insurmountable obstacle, with the momentum gained from the winning struggle carrying on to success far beyond the dreams of the man who started it all. This may seem a bit removed from the study of extrasensory perception, but it certainly is not. Feelings of defeat and frustration are the most effective blocks to good ESP known to man. We are seeking to become more effective beings by adding practical ESP to our arsenal of tools for living. But first, we must develop the attitude that every obstacle is a helper in disguise. We must laugh at the things that would have frustrated us and be happy in the knowledge that the strength gained by struggling to surmount one more problem will be available at some future time and help us sail on to happy success after happy success. As we develop the habit of thinking and reacting to our setbacks in this powerfully positive manner, we are opening our channels of extrasensory help and thus becoming more effective, both as practical human beings and as sparks of the great mystic light that burns brightest in our apparently darkest moments. The one great unifying thread of all the world's religions is the living light, experienced by the mystic, whether he be Buddhist, Hindu, Jew, Muslim, or Christian. By tentatively accepting the reality of the mystic light and setting out on an earnest quest, many people are finding their personal inspiration and tangible help every day. You give up nothing but defeatism and despair for the light, and in return you enter a new personal relationship with the whole of the universe. An old Chinese proverb says that one picture is worth 1,000 words. We might carry that a step further and say that one experience of the light is worth 1,000 pictures. You can lead the triumphant life as a member of a team. You're on a team already. But it takes the light to show you your position and what the next play is, for that matter. If this sounds a bit far out to you, that's all right. Let it enter your mind as a small seed. Then at the right time it will flower into a desire to seek and grow in the light, when you're ready. When you recognize the meaning of each struggle in your life, when you let it drive you on to dare and do, there is recompense and glory as you find the living light. Let it shine its light of triumph down on you. Now, for those of you who participated in our little psychic exercise last week, remember we were working with the rainbow colors, and if you sensed or saw or heard or felt or saw the word red, you were right in there. And let's remind you that you don't have to get it every time to be demonstrating good ESP. Chance says you would get 1 out of 7 where we're using these 7 chances, these 7 targets. So if you're getting more than 1 out of 7, if you're getting 2 weeks in a row or every other week, then that means you're really coming along. Keep practicing. It's good for you, and we sure want to have you participating. Remember, I'll give you the address at the end of the program and ask you to write to us with your impression on the exercise we'll use this week. And this week we're going to use the letters, just A, B, C, D, E, F, or G, and we'll let you work with that. I'll project it at the end of the program, as we always do. We'll explain a little more of that as we get nearer the end of the program. A mouse lives in our computer. It's timid but smart as can be. Such an agile little creature. What expressive features has he? He teases the operator as if the room belongs to him, and he brings a lesson to us through the computer's clack and din. Conditions of life around us are not always ours to control. To bring progress out of the chaos is our challenge now as of old. Now let's get back to my friendly mouse. He's a very refreshing contrast to the many human beings who go around bemoaning their fate and claiming that society is somehow against them. It's easy to imagine a time when there were no house mice. Our tiny friends lived in the fields, feeding happily on the grass seeds and grains, expressing their part of life naturally, while surviving the onslaughts of only their natural enemies. Then along came the subdivider to pour cement and blacktop and concrete all over the beautiful field, and build houses or factories where the little mice once had a natural food supply. If our mouse friend had followed the example of his human brothers, he might have turned to drugs, or at least turned aside from his God, claiming that he had been forsaken. Certainly, some of the mice would have organized massive demonstrations and marches in their cities to protest against the great wrongs done to their kind, and many would grow beards and long hair to speak out against the establishment. All of we human beings have something to learn from the house mouse and the house fly and countless other creatures of so-called lower intelligence. It's only the intelligent human being who rebels against these problems and refuses to solve them because he thinks they're unfair. Animals aren't smart enough to tell the difference between an unfair and a fair problem, so they go ignorantly along, solving each in its turn, and always getting the best possible break for themselves in the process. Boy, that's dumb, isn't it? Sure, it's dumb, just like all the successful men in our country are dumb. Too dumb to know that they couldn't possibly succeed against all the unfair obstacles in their path. Somewhere in a training situation, way back during World War II, a success slogan was popularized. Don't fight the problem. Obviously, it means that the time spent grousing about the unfairness of a challenge is that much time and energy lost from the available resources to solve it. No matter who you are or what's your station in life, there are inevitably problems and situations which are quite totally and honestly unfair to you. So big deal. You're in the best of company, and by looking around you can quickly spot someone else whose problems are much more unfair than yours, but who is going about making the best possible deal for himself, or herself, of course, with a smile on his face and a song in his heart. This thought certainly fits into the overall program of balanced personal unfoldment undertaken by serious students of extrasensory perception. Your ESP faculties are blocked or jammed by the wasted energy of frustration more than by any other factor. As we learn to meet each challenge head-on, without concern about whether we deserve it, we're more effective, and we make the best life for ourselves, now and in the future. Remember that old service slogan, don't fight the problem. and laugh at your former frustrations as you move on to a life of happy effectiveness quite beyond your fondest dreams. The challenge of the Master is to live effectively, to take hold of every problem and solve it joyfully. The rewards are worth the effort, as each new strength you grow fits you much, much more completely to take part in God's great show. So dive into that struggle with a bright song in your heart, and add richness to life's dreams by a very well played part. As you win each daily battle, you're adding to your store of talents well developed that will help you win some more. Now let me begin by giving you the address to write so you can participate in our exercises and programs. Write me, Al Manning, ESP Laboratory, 7559 Santa Monica Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90046. I'll repeat the address as we get to the end of the program, but right now let's talk about this week's exercise. We're going to use the letters from A to G, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. As the program ends, I will sit quietly and project to you the spoken word, a picture of the letter, the idea and feeling of the letter, one of the 7 targets. And we ask you simply to relax at that time and see which one appears to you or gets through to you in some way. When you sense or feel or just think that's it, write it down and drop me a note so we can count you in our statistics to see how well I'm doing at projecting these things over the radio. By the way, we do this in our newsletter all the time and get very, very good results, and we want to expand this as we want to expand so many things. And do, of course, write and ask for our newsletter, for the catalog of services and supplies, all the things that are available through your ESP Laboratory. We want to be of use to you. Now, let's give you the address again. Write me, Al Manning, ESP Laboratory, 7559 Santa Monica Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90046. Once more, write me, Al Manning, ESP Laboratory, 7559 Santa Monica Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90046. Do get in touch with us, get to know us. You'll find it's a lot of fun, and the life you uplift should certainly be your own. Now, let's get ready to project the target this time. Remember, it will be one of the 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. And as we sign off, I'll project it to you. And do get it, and let's hear from you. Let's make it all part of the fun. And let's hear from you that you want a longer program, that you want to go deeper into the work, all sorts of good things. We want to work with you in the way that is most helpful to you. And now I will prepare to make the projection as I send the greetings and good wishes from all of us who are involved in the work at ESP Laboratory to you. Again, let's hear from you. And now relax and prepare to receive as I begin to project as soon as I have said goodbye for now, and blessed be.